In the last class, we have solved the problems on the moisture content, and we have solved the problem on estimate the discarded density of the solid waste. Okay, so these two problems, that is the physical characteristics of solid waste, we have solved the problem. The first problem we have solved on moisture content, and the second problem on density. Okay, in the first problem, okay, you can see here food waste is for per 100 kg we have solved it. Okay, so you can see 15, 45, then cardboard 10, plastic 10, garden trimming, wood. Okay, and this and the moisture content will be given to you in order to solve the moisture content problem. Okay, so we have done it by using a minus b divided by a into moisture content. So this is how we have done it. Now this is regarding the moisture content problem, and you can observe that, okay, you can observe that in while solving the problem on your density. Here also we have solved the same problem. Okay, the same problem is there. Okay, food waste again 15, paper 45, then cardboard 10, then plastic 10. This we have solved in terms of 1000 kg basis. Okay, this for 100, your moisture content for 100, and this for 1000 kg base. But in your examination, right, they may ask the same problem by taking 100 kg base, right, by taking the 100 kg base, the same problem by giving you the moisture content and density. Okay, the moisture content and density will be given to you in the same problem, and they might ask determine, right, determine the moisture content and density for 100 kg base or for 1000 kg base by giving the same problem. Okay, here also both the problems will be having the same kind of inputs to you. Component will be given to you, percentage of mass will be given to you, then moisture content will be given to you, and the density will be given to you. From this you need to find out the moisture content, and then you need to find out the density of the solid waste. So this thing they may ask you in the in your main exam. In order to have the simplicity, in order to understand the things better, I have solved the same problem, right? I have taken it separately, okay, in order to understand. So this adjustment you need to have it. You can refer to my previous video, and you can have the changes in that. Or if you want, I will solve the same problem. Okay, the same problem I will solve it once again by taking the both the moisture content and the density in the same problem. In the next class that we are going to perform it once again, I'll show you how the things will be done in that particular class. Now in today's class we will be concentrating on the energy content. Okay, we are going to concentrate on the energy content. Can see today we are going to solve the problem on chemical characteristics. That is, we are going to see the energy content, determine the energy content on dry bases, and determine the energy content on ash free dry bases. They may ask you in the problem. Okay, so here energy content on dry base, okay, the kilojoules per energy, that this thing you are going to calculate by using how we are going to calculate this, I will tell you. Then you need to determine, you need to remember this particular formula for ash free dry base, and determine the energy content. This is for a dry base, and this is for the energy content for ash free dry base. You need to remember this. I'll tell you how we are going to determine it. Then for ash free dry base we are going to see that this is for a dry base and this is for ash free dry base. Here we are going to detect the ash, whatever the content we are going to get in the problem. See, here moisture content and ash content will be given to you when we are going to solve the problems on both. Now determine the energy content of solid waste on dry bases and ash free dry base based on 100 kg waste given moisture is 21% and ash free dry base is 5%. Now in this problem we will be determining the energy content of solid waste on dry base and ash free dry base, as I have told which kind of a formulas you need to follow. So this particular problem here we need to concentrate. It is based on 100 kg waste. So these are the components what they have given. Food waste, it is 15 kg, paper 45 kg, cardboard 10 kg, plastic it is it is in terms of percentage 15%, then 45%, then 10%, then plastic it is 10%, then garden trimming is 10%, wood 5%, and then tin cans. Now it is in terms of 100 kg base. Now the 15% of 100 kg, it will become how much? It is 15 kgs. Now 45% of 100 kg, it will become 45 kg. 10% of 100 kg, it will become 10 kg. So you are going to add it. So percentage by mass, you are going to get all in kgs. Suppose if it is by 1000 kg base, then 15% of 1000 kg would have become 150 kg. 45% of 1000 kg would have become 450 kg, and 10% of 1000 kg would have become 100 kg. So like this, it is going to vary. That thing I have already told in the previous class. Okay. Now, if we go and add it, it will become 100 kg. Okay. Now, in this problem, this will be given and energy content will be given to you. This is given. Okay. This thing will be given to you in the problem. Okay. Now, for food waste, it is how much energy it is having? 4650. Then paper, it is having 16750 kilojoules per kg. Cardboard, it is going to have 16,300. Then plastics, it is going to have 32,600. Then garden trimming, it is 6,500. Wood, it is 18,600. Tin cans, it is 700. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to find out total energy. Now 15 kg, right? Now energy is given in terms of kilojoule per kg. That means per kg of food waste is having how much energy? 4650. So what you need to determine? We need to determine total energy. How we are going to determine total energy? I'll repeat. 1 kg will be having 4650 because unit is in terms of kilojoule per kg. Okay, so how much amount of waste we are going to have? Food waste, we are having 15 kg. So what is the total energy of the food waste? 15 multiplied by 4650, we are going to get 69,750 kilojoules. Just we need to do the multiplication of weight and the energy, we are going to get the total energy. Now we are going to, here we need to concentrate. I have given the energy in terms of kilojoule. How it is kilojoule? Now the weight is in kg. Okay, what we are going to do? We are going to multiply the mass, and we are multiplying the energy. So mass and energy, when we are going to multiply, kilojoule and energy is kilojoule per kg. So what is happening here? Kilojoule, your kg is going to get cancelled, remaining is kilojoule. So we are going to get the energy in terms of kilojoules. So similarly here we are going to, for other elements, we are going to solve, we are going to get the answers like this. 45 kg, 16,750 per kg of paper is having how much amount of energy? 16,750 kilojoule per kg of energy. So 45 kg, totally it will be having 7,53,750 kilojoules. So similarly we need to just multiply it and we need to get the answer. Okay, so just we need to multiply and we are going to get the answer. I hope the things are clear to you. Here you can see 5 into 7, it is 35. So here 2 zeros are there, so it is 35. So just multiplication we need to do it. So at the end, what we need to find is this all types of a solid waste, we are going to get the total energy as we need to add all these. We are getting the energy content as 14,74,000 kilojoules. The total energy we are going to get 14,74,000 kilojoules for all these waste. Now the energy content for 100 kg base, this is total energy content for 100 kg, how we are going to calculate? We are going to divide it by 100. Okay, we are going to get the energy as 14,740 kilojoule per kg. This is total energy in terms of kilojoule. Now the energy content for 100 kg base, we are going to get 14,740 kilojoule per kg. That means per kg of solid waste is having 14,740 kilojoules of energy. Now we will be seeing the energy content on dry base. I have told you the formula for this. The energy content on dry base, we can calculate the kilojoule per kg, that is nothing but this value, then multiply by 100 divided by 100 minus moisture content. Okay, now 14,740 kilojoule per kg multiply by 100 minus divided by 100 minus 21. 21 moisture content is given to you, so we are going to deduct that. We are getting the answer as 18,658 kilojoule per kg. Now this is how we have calculated. The first problem is over. Based on 100 kg base, find out the energy on dry basis is over. Now we need to find out the answer in terms of ash free dry base. For this, okay, we will be ash free dry base, we will be using the formula kilojoule per kg as discarded. That is the how per kg how much energy it is going to have. We have calculated it. Then 100 divided by 100 minus ash content is given to you, that is 5%. Then moisture content is given to you, that is 21%. So 14,740 into 100 divided by 100 minus 5 minus 21, we are going to get ash free dry base as 19,919 kilojoule per kg. So this is how we are going to solve the problem on the energy content. I'll just repeat it once again. Okay, the component will be given to you, percentage mass will be given to you, you need to convert it into mass. Then energy content will be given to you, this much will be given to you, just you need to multiply and find out the total energy. Total energy, you need to do the addition. Then the energy, this is for 100 kg. 100 kg of solid waste will be having this much amount of energy. Now per kg, how much energy this per kg of the waste, mixed waste, is going to have how much of amount of energy. This is, you are going to divide it by 100, you are going to get 14,740. Why you are going to divide it by 100? Because 100 per 100 kg base is given to you. Then ash free dry base, your energy content you have calculated it, then multiply by it, 100 divided 100 minus 21. So you are going to get the ash free dry base. The formula for your ash free dry base is 100 multiplied by 100 minus ash minus moisture. Then you will be finding this. In module 1, right now we have completed the half part of it. Then in that we have covered what are the sources of solid waste, types of solid waste, physical and chemical characteristics of solid waste, then generation rate, and we have solved the problems on it. Now we are into the second segment of the module 1. In this module we will be covering the collection point of it, then collection of solid waste, different services, then equipments, then transportation. In that will be seeing the transfer and transport, okay, need of transfer operation, then transfer station, transport means, okay, then route optimization. This is what we will be seeing in the second part. Now we will see what is how we will be seeing this collection of solid waste by having the transfer and transport. What is the how we will be having the collection part is different, and then transfer and transport part is different. Now we will be seeing first what is transfer and transport, then we will be going to see what kind of equipments we will be using, then we will be seeing how the collection will be done. Okay, now transfer and transport. Okay, now what is this transfer? Transfer is nothing but whenever we are going to collect the solid waste, the collection crew will come to our house and they are going to collect the waste into the smaller vehicles, okay, then that is that from that particular smaller vehicle, that is we are going to use the different kinds of equipment such as hand cart, tricycle, trucks. Trucks will be larger than your normal animal cart and all. Such a smaller instrument equipments we will be using for collection, okay. So when we will be basically, what is transfer is from a smaller vehicle, right, from such a smaller vehicle, okay, whenever we are going to transfer it for a bigger vehicle called as a trucks, okay, we call it as an transfer. From this to this we call it as a transfer, okay. Now what is this transport? Transport is nothing but these trucks will be going to where? To the either processing or disposal. We call it as an transport. Now what is transfer? Transfer is these smaller vehicles are going to shift their solid waste into these trucks. We call it as a transfer, okay. And when these trucks will be going to the processing or the disposal site, we call it as a transport. I hope the thing is clear, okay. Smaller to larger vehicle, whenever we are going to shift the solid waste, we call it as a transfer. And then the larger vehicle, when it is going to dispose or for the processing purpose, we call it as a disposal. So this is regarding the transfer and transport. Now we will see what are the different types of equipments we will be using for the collection of waste, okay. I was telling that we are going to cover the collection of solid waste. So first equipment what we are going to use is, we will be using hand carts, okay. These hand carts, either they are having 3 wheels, okay. In common these vehicles are having a single wheel, 2 wheel, or it is going to have 3 wheel, okay. These are having the capacities of around 30 to 40 liters, right. We use a hand carts means it can be moved with the help of the hands, okay. So this is, I think, this kind of an instrument you have seen it, might be in a day-to-day collection of the solid waste. Such kind of a vehicle you might have seen, which is, we call it as a hand carts, which is moved by the hands, okay. Next is the tricycles, okay. The tricycle will be having the 8 containers, 6 to 8 container, or depending upon the capacity, it is going to have the different containers, okay. Tricycles means which is going to have 3 wheels, okay, and it might be having the capacity of around 40 liters, right. These tricycle will be run by a person, okay, which is going to have the 3 wheels, and it is going to have the capacity of around 40 liters, okay. I think this is also clear. Then community bin, it is going to have a capacity of 40 bins, which is going to be arranged in a 2-tier arrangement, okay. Then the pickup van has to be sent, okay. Community bin carrier, these are the smaller vehicle that is going to come to us, okay. Then trucks, now we will be seeing the truck part. The various types of trucks, that is the 5 to 7 tons, have been commonly used in the many cities, okay. The vehicles should be provided with having the gear, which is going to have the hydraulic loading, might be for loading and unloading it will be easy. These are the trucks which we are going to use for during the transport process, that is when we will be using it for the processing or disposal from a smaller vehicle, whatever waste we collect, in order to dispose it, or in order to process from a smaller to larger vehicle, we will be sending it to the disposal site. So this is what the trucks is. Then animal carts, these are the old methods. Animal cart is right, it is we are not using it right now because of the buffer leaves use, and then it is going to have the smaller capacity and all, and it is going to create some of the unhygienic things also, because it will be kept open and all. There are n number of the things are there. So animal cart, it is already we have we stopped using the animal carts and all, but probably in some of the villages it may be in practice, okay. Then we will be using sometimes the rail transport for disposal of solid waste. Again, it is dependent upon the budget also. So normally we will be using the hand carts, tricycle. Then now, right now, the community bin carrier, that is the smaller vehicles like Tata, Ape, Ace, okay, such kind of vehicles we will be using nowadays. This is in popular. Okay, then trucks is also we are going to use it for the transport. Remaining all might be some places it might be there. Rail transport, it is having a heavy budget, so probably we may or we may not having these kind of facilities. Okay, so in today's class we have discussed on the problems on chemical characteristics and what is transfer and transport. Then we have seen different tools, equipments that we have used for the transfer and transport, or the different equipments we are going to use for collection of a solid waste. In tomorrow's class, we will be concentrating our study on the collection of solid waste, okay, by having the different services. That is, in this we are going to have the curb system, alley system, then backyard service, set out, setback, right? So such kind of a system, what is it, with the help of a diagram in detail we will be seeing it, and this will be very important. Probably it is going to be important for your exam. That is, we will be seeing the collection of solid waste by using the different kinds of a system we are going to see in tomorrow's class. Thank you.